Evening, folks. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're all doing your Christmas shopping. And 2 days to the big man comes. Well, it's less than 2 days now. It's like 2 sleeps till the big man arrives. But tonight we are joined again by our good friend. Now, he's not been on for quite some time. Martial expert and actor John Ozuna. As I say, he's not been on for quite some time because he's been quite a busy wee chappy. So welcome back, John. It's been far too long, young man.
Yeah, it's been far too long. So much has happened between you and I, and one, I'm happy to be back. And hey, I mean, it's just right before Christmas, so this makes it even a little bit extra special that you and I are spending this time together. And so I understand that you got married, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, we did. We got married at Halloween at Loudon Kirkyard. That's own kind of, well, it's no our own place, but it's a very, very special place. As anybody that's followed us will know, we've been
Yeah.
investigating there for just over 4 years. And we've got a lot of, there's Laura, and good evening, John, good evening, Scott, again. Yep.
Good to see
Um,
you.
Aye, so it's got a kind of special tie for us, So,
Yeah.
as I said earlier, we weren't sure if we'd be able to do it, but the people that run it were fantastic, and letting
Yeah,
us
yeah.
get
Well,
married there.
I,
And
I want to extend my congratulations to you and your lovely wife and the new family. That's fantastic. You deserve the best. Wow, you guys. I looked at some of your pictures on social media. That looked amazing. That looked, yeah. I mean, it's unique. It's unique to be out there where you had your wedding.
well, we wanted to be, we didn't want to stand out or say, look at us, we're better than anybody else, but we wanted to be different. Plus, what Sarah and I do, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
spooky stuff, So we wanted that
Yeah.
kind of feel to the wedding, and to hell with the sort of white dress and all the rest of it. Sarah went for black. It was a secret which was hard to keep, but what an amazing day it was. And thanks to me,
Yeah.
married in the crypt, no thanks to quiet. Oh, she's always going to get a pound of mince in, pound of beef in. Laura
Yeah.
was
No, that's. Oh, that's. I
maid
mean,
of
that.
honour.
I mean, so
Um,
so let me ask you because I'm curious. What does it take to get permission to do that?
well, it's a local group called Friends of Loudon Kirk that actually they don't own it, but they look after it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's a disused kirkyard,
Yeah.
graveyard. And so we went to them. Sarah approached the Ayrshire Council as well.
Uh-huh.
And they says, if you get married on the actual ground itself, there's a lot of red tape, but just to get married
Yeah.
inside the gates would be fine. So we
Yeah.
said to the Friends of Loudon Kirk, this is, and we already knew them because we'd met them previously.
Yeah.
One time we'd been over there. So we met up, we arranged a meeting with one of the girls, and we went
Yeah.
over and we spoke to her, and she said, listen, it's not a problem. You want to get just married inside the gates, that's totally fine. But
Yeah.
as I say, that whole week, it rained,
Yeah.
and the trouble with Loudon, as I say, is it gets kind of muddy and
Mm.
slushy and
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
quite wet. So we thought, and we were just about to leave here and we get a phone call, do you want to get married inside the
Yeah.
crypt because of the weather? So it was really, really special that way.
Yeah.
But as I say, we approached the people who looked after it. We gave them a donation as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
quite straightforward.
No, I
You
mean
know,
that's fantastic. It's and in the fact that the weather was bad, and going into the crypt that made it even a little bit more special. It almost like took it to the next level. And so, about how many guests did you have?
it was because it was raining the day. My friend, who's a member of Friends Allowed in Cut, approached me the
Oh,
day and
that's
asked me
great.
if he would like to get married in the crypt. The original was, I think it was around about 40 because we were having there's an after party in here.
Mm-hmm.
But people were cancelling, people couldn't make it. So it turned out there was about 20 there, which actually, no offence to anybody who didn't come, but actually worked out quite well because the crypt isn't that big.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody just kind of fitted in. You know, it wasn't kind of everybody sort of overcrowded or anything. So it was quite a nice wee number. So there was about between 16 and 20 people there.
Oh, that's not bad. That's good. I mean, but that's not counting the unexpected guests you might have had in the spirit world. So I'm sure you had some guests there too.
Well, hopefully there were, you know, so there was others watching. And we did, you know, give certain ones a wee mention. Laura, I'll speak to you in the morning, dear. We'll take Laura Christmas shopping in the morning. Again, no ties. Thank you, Laura, dear. Happy now. To pick me up what I was saying. I would did give a mention, you know, Sarah's gran, my daughter, and spirits that we've encountered there as well. We felt it fit to give them a wee, you know, a little mention on the day and then thank them for allowing us to be there, sort of thing. And that was it. So I went off without
that's fantastic. Like I said, congratulations to both of you. That's a big event. I mean, on Halloween, you know, in a cemetery, in a crypt. I mean, that's just so memorable and so special. And I'm glad you both did it the way that you wanted to do it. And I'm happy for you. And the rest is history.
Laura and the vows don't even go there.
And the vows don't ever go there.
I'm not actually sure what she means by that. Sarah did her vows and I did my vows. And I thought the vows were quite all right, Laura. But no, it was a really, really good day. And as you say, you know, what took us so long, it was about time, etc., etc. It's done now, buddy. You know what I mean? It's signed and sealed and legal and all that kind of stuff. So,
Exactly. It's good.
Oh, aye. That's right. Laura was crying from beginning to end.
Oh, that's nice. I love that. I love that. That's good.
She had a wee tear in her E. E is a Scottish word for eye. A wee tear in her E. A wee tear in her eye.
That's great. No, that's great. That's a special moment, special memory. But what took you so long? Why so long?
I don't know. We'll get an intruder. Hold on, John. Hold on. We've got a wee intruder here.
I'm a great crasher.
My goodness.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Wait a minute, guys. Oh, what's with this? I never get that.
That was one each. One for both of you.
That's
aye. Okay.
Until we meet in person, it has to be this way for now.
Exactly.
So we have Tarek Tracy as well. Folk, we probably recognise this lady. She does the Tudors women. Every time John's on, she begs and begs. Can I come on and sit? You know.
Oh, what a surprise! That's fantastic.
There you go, Tracy. Laura saying, "My gorgeous lady, so good to see you."
And you, my darling. It's lovely to see you. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to John before you sort of popped in.
Yeah.
You know. How are you, Tracy? You all ready for Santa coming?
I'm very well, thank you. And I'm all ready. Yes, I think we're ready in this household. We're all sorted. Only a couple of days left.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're getting very close. It's wonderful to see you. So I hope everything's going well with everything in your life.
It really is. Thank you, John. Yeah, I finished my full-time job for a couple of weeks now for the Christmas break, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So I've got a nice couple of weeks to wind down.
Yeah.
And then I'll be back with full force, back doing my readings again in the new year.
Good.
So yeah, busy old time. And I'm also going to be doing an equivalent of Strictly Come Dancing. So I'm going to be doing a lot of dance training in the new year as well.
Yeah, I noticed that you've been dedicating a lot of time to that. That's great.
Yeah. I've got a long way to go yet. Got to get fit. So if you've got any tips, let me know.
Just keep on dancing. Just never stop dancing.
Yeah, I
that's
think
that's a great way of
that's a
doing
good
it.
tip.
John, she's actually looking for a male dance partner. She keeps asking me, but I can tell her I'm married, Tracy. I'm off the shelf.
I
uh,
let me tell you, I actually enjoy dancing quite a bit. I love dancing.
there you go.
There you go. You're going to have to take a flight over to the UK.
I do need to do that. Well, if and when I do, yeah, I would love to film there. I mean, I've had offers before to film uh, over there, and for whatever reason, just it conflicted with another project, or just the scheduling didn't work out. But I've yet to spend any time over there, and I've been through Europe. I've been through the areas, but never in the UK. So I
Yeah.
hope to.
Yeah.
Because you filmed in, where was it for the bouncer?
Romania. So I was in
Romania.
Romania.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
what
I
it
was in
was.
Romania for about a month. And it's funny because I had a friend that wanted to visit, and they want to stop by on set. And normally I would say, hey, sure, please do that. But the schedule was so tight, and so things were not going as planned. So there would be no time for any sort of socializing at all. Because literally, I went from getting up in the morning, going directly to set. You go through the makeup and all the good stuff. You film for about 12 to 16 hours. When you're done, I would just go straight back to my hotel room. I would study my lines for the next day, go to sleep, and just repeat that for a month. And there was just no room for anything.
Bit like Scott's schedule, then, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm a very, very busy man.
Yeah.
There's Laura's other half in saying hello. Laura's commented, answer John's question. I'm dying to hear the truth or made up version. LOL. What question?
Which question?
Which question, Laura?
Yeah, which question was that?
Got me wondering. No, I'm not. It's not that I'm busy, but I'm doing nothing. That makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense because there's so much in all of our lives. There's so much behind the scenes work that needs to take place in order to create the opportunities that eventually people will see. They'll see those tangible, whatever it is that we're committing to. But the behind the scenes work that we do to have the opportunity to do that, there's a lot involved. In my day, I have such a regimented schedule of things that I need to do, and even the way I eat. I eat a certain way. 6 days out of the week, I allow myself like that one day of kind of a cheat day, and I eat whatever I want. But a lot depends on how they want to see me. Because sometimes they'll say, "Hey, we want you 20 pounds heavier," or we want you as fit as possible. So you always have to be ready for that, and it's constant. It's constant.
So
And
what's your diet then, John? What sort of diet do you have to stick to when you're being good?
My diet is a lot of protein. So a lot of protein, very lean on the carbs. I rarely eat bread, which makes me a very surly, unhappy sort of guy. so um, so it's a lot of lean meats, a lot of vegetables. If I do have carbs, it's usually pastas, which are a little bit less of the evils. A lot of fluids, a lot of supplements and whatnot, just to get me to where they want me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your
Don't
diet,
ask me.
Scott?
Yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
What about your
there's a
diet,
question.
Scott?
So the question is, why you decided to get married, Scott?
I just felt it was time,
After, well, how many years was it? Was 35 years of engagement? What was that?
11, try 11.
Oh, okay.
No, we'd spoke about it quite, a few times, and then we just decided last year, it was Sarah that said, why don't we just do it? I said, you know what, well, let's just do it, because if we hadn't done it, I was going to say last year, this year, if we hadn't done it this year, if there was just been on, and we probably never get into it, so we thought, you know what, no, let's just get it organised and go ahead and do it. I mean, you know, for a lot of the years, I was still sort of legally married, then I got, then I got my divorce about 2 years ago, whatever. So that kind of held things back a wee bit. Nothing to do with bullying from Sarah and I was, you know, I wouldn't bully. I wouldn't say bullied. I wouldn't say bullied, you know, but I was kind of persuaded, you know.
Twisted your arm.
I've got to watch what I'm saying, because Laura's in the chat and the wife's just next door, so I need to watch what I'm saying, you know.
Well,
I'm kind of still a rock in a hard place.
A huge congratulations, because I haven't spoken to you since you got married. So, you know, congratulations. It's really exciting news, isn't it? And I saw the photos and they looked absolutely lovely. It looked quite spooky and kind of atmosphere that you wanted. So it's lovely. I was saying that, John. Thank you, dear. I was saying that, John. We got the kind of effect we wanted. So it all worked. You know, it worked out well. Which we're quite happy with. When I was a film shooting, we had a lot of work, paperwork, scheduling. It says before we picked up a camera and shot film. The amount of work that goes into filming.
There's so much. You know, it's funny because when I do any sort of project, you know, and this year I had the great opportunity of working on, you know, 4 really good films, and the last film I worked on was just a very big, what you would consider just the big Hollywood film, with a lot of known actors and a lot of really great people. So much is involved. There's so many parts and pieces to making a film, and a lot of people that ask me, "Oh, what are you working on?" and I'll explain whatever it is. And the first thing they ask me is, "Well, when does it come out?" And I'll say, "Well, typically it takes at least a year from the time that you finish filming to when it releases. If you're lucky, it's about a year's time, 1.5 years." And they always say, "What takes so long?" You know, there's just so much involved. And you know, you had mentioned paperwork. There's a lot of legal documents that need to be cleared and signed, and in order for it to be distributed. And there's just a lot of contractual obligations between all the different actors and talents and everybody that has a part in a project. So there's a lot, and I've had the good fortune of being involved with the production of films and not just the acting alone. And it just opens your eyes. I mean, you realize, my goodness, it's just a whole, you're living a lifetime from beginning to end in every project. You know, it has its birth, and then, you know, its conception, and it has its birth, and then it goes through every process of its life, and then at the end it's done. You know, and you know, at the end of it, you feel like you've lived a whole life in however long it takes to film it. It could be anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 weeks to a couple of months. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that takes you away from home as well, John, doesn't it?
It does, you know, and that's the tough part, because, you know, my family at home, and, you know, what's actually great is my daughter lives in the Los Angeles area, so I live closer to San Francisco, which is roughly about 7 hours travel time, you know, by car.
Gosh.
And so whenever I do get a chance to film in Los Angeles, I get a chance to meet with my daughter, and, you know, and she's married, and my son-in-law. So we'll spend a little time together. She's also in the industry. She's a makeup artist. So every once in a while, we'll have a project where we work together, and she takes this and makes it look presentable. You know, it takes, believe me, Scott, I spent a lot of time on that chair. Believe me. Okay,
we know the feeling, don't we, Scott? We know the feeling.
Speak for yourself, though. I know
I spent a lot of time on that chair to make sure
this is
just okay.
Natural for me.
naturally red for you then, Scott, isn't it?
That's it. I think it's. I've got the Christmas lights on. The whole hall's done up with Christmas lights in the ceiling. That's what's causing it. You know,
Oh my god!
and it's the glare off the monitor. But no, I know what you're saying about the filming set. I mean, we did our Wallace show, which is nothing compared to what you do, you know, movie wise. But it does take a lot of time for birth to, you know, I'm going to say conception. Conception.
Yeah, but it's
you know,
it's the same.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Scott, you get a little bit more red.
That's a glow, isn't there?
You know, it's the same. It's the same, though. It really is the same. You see, you ran off our beautiful Tracy. She left us. but it's the same. No, it really is. So whether it be investigation, and you're filming that investigation, and you're documenting it, and you know, and then once you put those elements together into you know, what you did and how you want to present it, there's so much parts and pieces to that. The only thing that's different about a smaller production is that one person does more things. So you're in front of the camera, you're behind the camera, you're writing a basic script. You know, you once you finish filming, you're editing the pieces together. So you just take on a more responsibilities.
I would say, I mean, when we were, I'll just put Craig's comment up first. Yeah, we had to do risk assessment session. We were sometimes be working on numerous projects at the same time. We certainly delegate, lead various teams, and keep a lot of balls moving.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were lucky enough. We did the Society of William Wallace on board, and they done most of the narration. But it was picking locations, and then what was used was John, you know, filming it, you know, sort of how you want it to look. You've got it up in your head, and you know, you're filming it, and Gordon, the narrator, would say, right, where do you want me to stand? So you're sort of looking about thinking, right, what's the best way to do this to get him in the background, and then the editing. Sarah did all the editing.
Yeah,
you know, that takes hours. I didn't realise, you know, and we had a couple of wee RC, Laura was there as well during the editing process, and we had a couple of wee tiffs, shall we say, during the editing, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's because for you, I mean, one of the most important aspects of filming is the audio. Your audio has to be pristine, and for you, audio is everything. You know, because it's not just the images, but it's what you capture through audio. That is the most important. So because that validates what you're doing, and you're reaching individuals, and you're hearing things that are not, that you can't see visually. So that's very important for you.
Have you watched any of the Wallace Trail, John? Actually, we ask him, Tracy, put him on the spot here. Have you watched any of the Wallace Trail, John?
I hear a lot of background. Say that again, buddy.
Have you watched any of our Wallace Trail?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I thought he was going to say no, Tracy, there for a second.
No.
I need to watch it. I must admit,
I have. So that's, you know, because, you know, Scott, it's relative to what I do. It is relative because it's the same sort of process, and that's why our two genres kind of do go together, because it is relative. You know, although your is more of a documentary style approach on it, but it still has all the same elements. It does. So when I've seen my experiences with it, you know, yeah, you know, it's you know, if you ever question, you know, I wonder what happens in the afterlife. I wonder if this exists. You know, we can never just say what we see, what we hear and what we touch and what we feel is the only reality, because that's all. It's on the top layer. It's on the surface. It's almost like saying, if you look at a cake, the only thing that a cake is what's on the outside. It's all the frosting and the formation of the cake. But once you dig into that cake, you find out there's so much more behind it. And that's that's the way I see it. With what you do.
It's just stick these two comments up and I'll come back to what you say, John, because I really exactly what you mean. It's hard work, like Scott says, you don't realise how difficult it is taking into environmental factors. Editing is fun, but meticulous. I used to spend hours on 1 minute screen time. It takes forever. But I know what you mean, John. A lot of people, I can't see it, I can't feel it, so I don't believe it. But I heard this years ago. Someone says to me, about TV signals, aerials on top of people's houses and people's lofts. Yeah. And they say, you stand outside your house, can you see the signal going into your aerial? You say, no. So, the signal is there. The signal is going in, just because you can't see it, but it's still. So it's the same kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Same as us connecting on here, isn't it? It's exactly the same.
I mean, but that's what it is in regards to the viewers about the editing. I've been on projects where, you're working 12 hours on one scene. You have probably an hour's worth of that footage, and what makes the actual final cut is probably 5 seconds. What makes the cut? And it's amazing that it's edited down to that. And so you're spending so much time, effort, and money, obviously, to create just that little moment, that hopefully somebody will appreciate and like and enjoy.
I know it does. There's a wife thing. Wife watching.
Hey, Sarah.
But no, it does. You spend hours doing one bit, and you sort of sliced into like 5-10 seconds. But it took all day to. It could have took all day to do it. But moving on, John, you've been a busy man. Tell us what else you've been up to. Yeah, Tracy's dying, she follows your every move. Sorry, Tracy.
Tracy is in another universe right now.
Yeah.
She's starstruck. That's what I was saying. I heard you talk about her beautiful wedding
I just
day.
got front row seats here, that's all.
Yes, absolutely. The wedding is ultimate. Yeah, I've been busy. This has been a good year for filming. I have been, like I said, in 4 projects. One of the last films I worked on was it's a project called Body Man, and it stars Sean Kanan and Martin Kove of the Karate Kid movie series. If you and also Cobra Kai. So if you know the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, Martin Kove is one of the absolute main actors there, and Sean Kanan as well. I worked with Lachlan he's from the Scary Movie franchise with the Wayans brothers, and if you know that movie. I worked with Tom Arnold. A lot of they're all American actors, but they're really well-known American actors. It was a great project, action film, and it was great to be a part of it. We filmed all over Los Angeles and Hollywood studios. It was about as Hollywood cliche as you can get in terms of the studios. I just, this is the part that kills me. I was casted for a movie that was a huge movie, along with actors. Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose is from John Wick 2. She's from Meg. Terrence Howard. multiple films, just huge actors. I was casted for the lead role along with these major, heavy Hollywood hitters, and this is the heartbreaking part of what I do. The distribution company didn't want me, and they said, we want somebody much more well known with a bigger name. The director was the one who wanted me. He said, you know what, I want you in this film. You know, we got to have you. You know, you'll be great for this, that, and the other. And we're going to pull you, you know, next to these other really big actors. And you know, and I was honored. I was honored to be considered. But that, you know, it's a business. It's a business, and ultimately, distribution said, you know what? No, we need to change this guy out. And then you know, the director said, okay, you know what? I'll make you the lead bad guy then. You know, that way we can still keep you in the film, and yeah, you'll be among these other guys. And there were so many big stars that were fighting for this part. You know, one of the Hemsworth brothers was a part of it, and among other big actors. So if you know Chris Hemsworth and his family and his brothers, you know, they were all vying for this role.
I'm just
So
bending
needless
down
to
to pick up
say,
the
not they
names.
didn't get it, they didn't even get it. It was another actor, which I forgot his name. But again, you know, this is the story of Hollywood. You're up for that big role, and then it just gets swept from under you, and then you're gone. And but you know what? You know, it's from every loss, there'll be down the road another door that opens, and a greater opportunity. And again, you know, it's one of these things where it was kind of meant to be, because if this didn't happen, then this other thing wouldn't happen. Right now, because that I didn't get that role, right now we're in development for another movie, really big movie. Um, and I can't really disclose too much of the title, but I would play the lead on that one, and I'm excited for the future of this next movie that's coming up. So yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah, every cloud has a silver
Yeah,
lining.
you're right. It does. It does. It really does. You know, and I consider them learning experiences, because, you know, you can't, you know, a very good close friend of mine, and he's passed, once said that we win when we lose, but only if we learn. And I that's been my life philosophy, because for every yes that I get, I've had probably 100 no's before I ever get that yes. You know, and you know, some people think that this lifestyle is very glamorous, and it's not. It's very cutthroat. You know, I think I've mentioned in other programs before. You know, you're torn apart. You know, they rip you to shreds. They say that you're useless, and that you don't have no talent, and they don't like the way that you look, and you need to change this and that. You know, you'll never go anywhere. You know, I've been told all those things. Yet we should never ever give up in what we're passionate about, um, because if we ever listen to the no's, you know, then your dreams will never be realized. And I'm just so appreciative of the fact that I've been able to do what I've done with the people that I have. And and Scott, you included, buddy, you included. I love us, you know, working together and talking together, and, you know, and meeting up and catching up. I love that. You know, that's all very important, because we have to support one another, and also celebrate one another's victories. I think it's very important that we do that. And you know, it's just simply because this is not an easy thing to do. This is an extremely difficult pursuit.
It was, I know it can be, you know, it says I'm going to blow my own horn, but thank you, John, for that nice compliment. It can be quite difficult to do, you know, you get different guests and that on, and you're trying to keep the conversation going with. Some of them are really hard work, Trace will probably
Yeah.
know if you know. some are really, really hard work, you know, to keep going. And, you know, I mean, the minimum we run for about an hour, and sometimes after 15, 20 minutes, you're starting to struggle. But rather than maybe insult who anybody's watching or your guests, you try to keep it going. So it can be. I mean, I love doing these shows. You know, especially used to lovely people. But sometimes it can be a wee bit hard. So I totally get what you're saying. Always count yourself lucky to be lucky. You could always go the other. Like what you were saying there, John, about, you know, 100 no's you get 1 year. I know exactly what you mean. I mean, many years ago, it's similar. You know, I drove trucks for 20 years, heavy goods, vehicles and stuff. And there was one time I was unemployed, and I went for 42 interviews. 42 different jobs, and I never get one of them. And I had all the years of experience under my belt and stuff like that. You know, I'd been from top to bottom of this, everywhere. But and then I finally got offered a job, and it turned out I loved the job. You know, I loved doing what I was doing then. And then I got offered 2 or 3 different jobs straight after that. You know, I'm working. If I gave up back then, you know, because it does get you down. No doubt it does you, John. It gets you down, you know, after a while.
It does. It does. Like
wants to kind of thing, but you need to just keep plowing away.
Yeah, you know, it is. You know, and it is discouraging because, you know, you're working hard. You're trying to develop yourself. You're putting the time and effort in, and you're met with just absolute nothing. And so those are kind of those dark times, which I think every person that pursues this you know, this journey feels and experiences. But you just got to keep on pushing and pushing, regardless of how you feel, and then that's when it happens. That's just that next step that you take that most people would never ever, you know, subject themselves to the criticism and to the negativity, and I'm not saying it's all that way, but once it finally does happen, when you hear that yes, when you get the, you know, the hey, we're gonna cast you, we're gonna hire you, it just makes it so much sweeter when you get that yes. It feels good. It just surges. You're with you know, with excitement about what you're doing, and you know, I'm not sure if you caught that post I did. You know, I've got something going with you know, with Holly Berry. You know,
I was going to come to that because I saw the post. I was going
to,
I'm sure Tracy's quite curious.
I'm curious.
Yeah, so you know, it's we're both it's somebody's podcast called the Sherrard Show. It's based out of Los Angeles, but this particular host really only brings in like the Hollywood elite people, and he contacted me and said, hey, you know, I want you in my show, but this is what he said, and this was the most incredible part. You know, he goes, you know, I have 2 other guests that I want to put you with. One is Holly Berry, and the other is oh my good, and I'm forgetting, my goodness, I'm forgetting her name. The name is escaping me right now, but an iconic actress. And he goes, which one do you want? And I said, really? So I choose between this actor and this actor? Really? I get to choose. He goes, yeah, whatever you want, you get it.
Fantastic.
You know, and the other actor was just, again, an iconic actor that doesn't really normally do interviews. But between she and I, we're so disconnected. Holly Berry, on the other hand, she and I have worked with Keanu Reeves together, different projects, but we worked with Keanu Reeves, Billy Bob Thornton, different projects. But we've both worked with actors that we have in common. So, and she's done action films too. So, and I've done action films. So I said, you know what, let's go Holly Berry. Plus, she's beautiful, you know, and I would love to meet her. So we're on this show together. The date of when it comes out is yet to be announced, but it's official. It's official that we're both on the show together, and we'll be spending some time together.
Fantastic.
So
How exciting.
But I mean, you find that, I mean, these big A-listers, Hollywood A-listers, they're very, very down to earth.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
at the end of the day, they are just normal people. I mean, you know, I was saying earlier on about Wallace and what have you. We covered the commemoration of the Battle of Stirling Bridge last year,
Yeah.
and James Costco was there.
Yeah.
So, well, he's done many films. The guy's a movie legend, but you know, obviously he played Hamish's father in Braveheart, so he was there. And Laura, Sarah, and the wee one was there, and I said, I'm going to go and try and get photographs with him.
Yeah.
And you know, so I went up to him. I said, "Listen, any chance I can get a photo?" He said, "Ah, sure." And he gave the cameraman with him, and he gave my phone to his cameraman. He said, "Take your picture." Totally, you know, and you know, this is a guy who's done many movies, and he's still making films.
You know, that's the thing. You know, and to your point, you know, it almost seems, and it's right. People are people, you know, and one of the things that seems to be very consistent is the bigger the star, like when they're really big stars, they're actually more humble, and they're more grounded. I mean, Keanu Reeves has a reputation for that, and he is. You know, we worked, my goodness, 2 weeks together on Matrix Resurrection, and he was the most just regular guy that you can meet. You know, it just, I think when I grew up, you know, my grandfather really impressed upon me when I was younger. And he said, you know what, and this is the way he put it, be a man, but be a sort of man that treats everybody with kindness and respect, even when they don't deserve it, because they probably need it most. And he said, whether you're having dinner in the camps, you know, in the because I come from a long line of migrant field workers, people that pick the vegetables and the fruits and stuff like that, and you're around the camp finally eating after a 12-hour day. Whether you're around a camp and having dinner, or whether you are in the poshest restaurant and with the most elite people, it's no different. It's the same. People are people, you know, and we all are the same, and we all feel the same about, you know, and we hurt the same, and we are happy the same, you know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we speak different languages and have different culture, that we don't. That doesn't matter. We are people. We're human beings, and he says treat everybody
equal as well, aren't they? Everybody is equal.
They should be no different, and that has always stayed with me.
Yeah. I think you forget, despite their job, people are people, usually their family, etc.
Yeah.
But I mean, you hear these stories about some big Hollywood A-listers, and they totally know their fans, but then you get the other side, the other ones, you know, Adam Sandler, for example.
Yeah.
You know, he's very well known for, as you say, Keanu Reeves, and people like that. They're very well known for just mingling with their fans, etc. And I think that's the way it should be. And you know, Elvis once said, I'm going to jump back to Elvis for 2 seconds. You know, it was advised not to go outside one day, and his dad says to him, you know, the fans, they'll have the shirt off your back, and Elvis turned around and says, well, they can have it.
Yeah.
Because they put it there.
Yeah. You're right. You know, to me, that makes no sense to me at all, to shun fans away and say, hey, no autographs, no pictures, no selfies. That makes no sense, because it's the fans that give us the opportunity to do what we do. Because if it wasn't for the fans, because they're the consumers, they're the ones that hit the rent button or the buy button or they're the ones that watch the movies. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. And I had, it's funny, I had an experience one time. I was at an event. I don't know if you know the actor Eric Roberts.
Julia Roberts' brother.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts' brother, exactly. So Eric Roberts and I had the same manager, so we were under the same contract, and so I was in an event, with him, and he and I were actually sitting next to one another and chatting about. And there was another pretty well-known actor that was also among the crowd, and I had never met him before. And I went up to him and I said, "Hey," and I'll say the first name. I said, "Hey, Michael, let's get a picture together." So, and he goes, the first thing he did, he goes, "No, man, no." He goes, "If I take a picture with you, that means everybody's going to want my picture with them." So he goes, "No." I said, "Well, wait a minute." I said, "I'm not a fan. Hey, we're here doing the same thing." So I was kind of going, "Hey, you're we're the same. We're the same." So and that's the thing that I don't get. I don't get that, because whenever any person comes up and says, "Hey, I watched your film and I really like this part and I really like that part, and wow, when is your next film?" I thank them. I'll say, "Hey, thank you for taking 90 minutes of your day and watching a project that I was in. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, because there's no greater offer than you can give somebody than your personal time. And time's invaluable. There's somebody that said that was so profound to me. People say, "Well, I've got X amount of time left, or I got this much time to go." It's not the time that plus that you have. It's time ticks away, so it's what we have left to live that we have each and every day. It's not more, it's less, and that makes you value the time that you have left, of whatever time that you have. So and it was kind of getting back to this, it just makes no sense to me whatsoever to shun fans or even somebody in the industry and say, no, hey, I don't got time for you. It makes no sense at all.
No, I've had two comments about the creator side. I'm not a wee second, but no, I know what you're saying. But I suppose there is two sides to the coin.
Yeah.
These famous people, they can go outside, but fans have been mobbed. So the actors, they really respect their fans, because it's the fans that put them where they are. But to me, at the same time, the fans need to respect the actors as well.
Yeah.
Because these people want some kind of privacy. To go, whether it's to go shopping or spend a couple of hours in the park with their kids or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, as we said, that there's still people, so they do want that bit of privacy. They can just go out without being swamped. I know it's no easy. It's a kind of at the balance sort of thing. So you can see if they sort of both sides of the
you're Scott. You're 100% right. You're absolutely right. I worked for the house in the theater. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, because you got how certain fans are. They get so obsessed and fanatic that they, for whatever reason, that equates to wanting to hurt the person that they admire. So there's been so many cases where somebody's fan ends up killing a very well-known person because they want that person for themselves, and so that's that other side of the coin, because you got to protect yourself. And it's I think
Don't get any ideas, Tracy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, John, you're safe with me.
Hey,
As she starts taking notes, John, then worry.
Got my notepad.
Oh my God. And then there's Tracy. Scott, you're terrible. You're terrible, Scott.
I mean, I've met a few famous people in my time, yourself included, John and Tracy.
You're very kind. You're very kind. Very kind.
And yeah, sometimes you're weird. I mean, you probably never heard him, John. Tracy probably Stanley Baxter.
Yeah.
Stanley Baxter was a well-known UK, comedian, basically back in the 60s, 70s, 80s sort of thing. It was always on the telly, and we many years ago we used to do a show in Glasgow called the Grand Show, and the guy that financed the show ran a restaurant right across from the theatre, and he was friends with all the big stars. So one time, before the rehearsals, me and my friend were in for we were sitting, and I looked over, and Stanley Baxter was on the table next to us. And Peter, the guy that owned the restaurant, he says, "That's Stanley." He says, "That's Stanley." And ended up Stanley Baxter turning and says, started yakking, talking away. And this guy was big. I mean, I'm going back to the 1980s. We did the show, so he was still quite prominent on TV then. I go, "That's Stanley Baxter." I'm having a roll with egg with Stanley Baxter, big claim of fame. But, they were just really nice people.
It's I think it's exciting. It's exciting when you get a chance to meet somebody who that you see all the time, whether it be TV or whether it be in the movie theaters. It's exciting to see that person, that one person. Like, you go, wait a minute, that's great, because you kind of relate it to also, of all the places they can be and all the things they could be doing, they're right there occupying some of the same space that you do, and they're right there at that moment in time. And shake hands with her rather than you know what? Yeah. You can't beat that. Just a good old handshake goes a long way too. Good old handshake. It does. No, to me, I love what I do. I really, really love what I do. I love, I have no aspirations of becoming a world famous, actor. I just want to continue working. That's what I want to do. I love the process of what it takes to prepare for a role. I love the challenge of getting my lines down and making sure that I'm at the infinitely best level that I can be in day of filming. And then I love, this is what I love when I'm filming. Every day that's done, you just kind of take your script and you just cross out that scene, because you know that you don't have to go back and revisit that, and you just are left with what's left in the script. And it's exciting to just kind of bite away at the script, and then ultimately you're at the last scene, on the script, and you just cross out the last scene, and then the director calls, "That's a wrap, guys. We're done." There's no greater kind of sense of accomplishment and doing that. So I love this. I love doing it. I love the creativity part. I love the challenge part. I love all aspects of it. And if I can continue to do it for as long as I can do it, I would just love to do it.
Is there no a kind of sense of sadness, when you finish a film, usually the director says that's a wrap, everything that's us finished, time to go home.
Yeah.
Is there no a kind of, that was fun?
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It really is, because, you get to know these people very intimately for a month at a time. And and these people that are like strangers to you when you first meet them, all of a sudden they become brothers and sisters at the end of this. And the sadness is that we're all going away back to our own regular lives, and that for some of them we may never see them again. I mean, you keep in touch through social media and whatnot, but we may not work again, and there is a sadness to it, because like I said, it's kind of this whole, you live a lifetime in that period where you're filming, from its conception all the way to its final end. And as we all know, like at the end of somebody's life, we all feel the absence and the sorrow of it. And it's no different, when you do this in a regular film. It's no different. It's the same. You feel the same kind of sadness about it.
Because you've got to know these people. But I'm watching the time. I know you're a busy man, John.
I think I got like just a few minutes left, my friend. A few minutes left.
That's fine. So this is the last couple of minutes. Both of you, what's your plans for Christmas? I'm not talking about together, Tracy, by the way. I'm just talking individually.
Well, my plans are being at home.
Oh my
God.
My plans are at home with my family. My family are coming down from Yorkshire.
Let me tell you, I don't know. Do you have any traditions for the holiday? Do you have anything that you do traditionally for Christmas?
No.
Our traditions are just kind of a turkey roast dinner, really. That's our normal Christmas dinner here in the UK, isn't it, Scott?
Yeah, Christmas has changed so much since we were kids,
Yeah,
I know everybody gets older and their point of view of Christmas changes, but it's just changed. It's just not the same anymore. It's too, everybody's just wanting to buy stuff. And I mean, I was in Tesco, as a supermarket over here, John, yesterday, the day before, and I couldn't even get, the car park for this store is massive. I couldn't get parked. And this was maybe about lunchtime. And I sent Sarah a couple of photos. The store was absolutely mobbed,
hate it when it's like that.
It's just all changed now. It doesn't feel like Christmas and stuff like that. But no, a good Christmas day, a good roast dinner.
Yeah.
Can't he beat that,
It is. I agree with you, buddy, because it's, we make it whatever we want to make it, but it's kind of like there's that pressure of going out and buying everything that you can, and there's that pressure. I think here in the United States, my goodness, things have really changed quite a bit, and that's great. Things have changed quite a bit, and that kind of the spirit of giving, and the spirit of coming together with loved ones, it's been kind of tainted a little bit, and for myself, for my family, we have such a small family here. We'll be hosting it at my home, and we're going to make some traditional, since my culture or my ancestry is Mexican. So we'll make, I don't know. Hey, you gotta let me know, Scott. Are there many Mexican restaurants in Scotland?
I think there's a couple in Glasgow.
Really?
But not very many.
No, exactly. So
Yeah.
we'll make some traditional Mexican dishes, and just spend time together. And that's the most important part. Spend time together, because it's the best thing that we all can do, and that we all can give and receive, is somebody's time. And this year I've lost people that were very, very special to me. Glasgow. All right. And Edinburgh too. All right. So we've lost members of our families and whatnot. And it's bittersweet. So not to have them this year for this time of the year. And, but again, you make the best of it, and it's about, community, and it's about giving, and it's about, going out there, and Merry Christmas, Greg. Merry Christmas, buddy. it's about those things, and I want to always continue not lose faith in those things. Anyways, Scott, I gotta run, my friend.
No, that's fine, buddy. We're just going to wind it up there. So a big thanks to John for coming. You will be seeing him in the new year, and a big thanks to Tracy. We've seen this lady as well. We're going to wind up there, folks. So wherever you are and however you celebrate it, or whatever you do, just we want to wish everybody a happy Christmas and spare a wee thought for those that aren't as lucky as we are. Give a wee thought for them. Thank you, dear. Ditto, right back at you. But no, have a great Christmas, everybody, and we shall see you all very soon. And stay safe and don't overindulge in the grub. All right, folks. Take care.
You have a great one.
Bye.